What's going on, guys? We're back with another video. Today, we're going to talk about a couple of things, couple of important things that are going on in America today. We're going to start it off with the acquisition of Greenland. So, of course, like anything that happens in politics in America, this has stirred a lot of controversy. It's caused a lot of division and it caused a lot of, debates, a lot of back and forth. I actually just had a debate about this, the acquisition of Greenland, a couple hours ago, actually. And I was having a debate with this girl from Lithuania and this guy from Lithuania, and it was me, an American, and another American guy, and it was like a 2v2, and we were telling them kind of how we do things in America, because in Europe they kind of seem to not understand this thing called force doctrine. They don't understand this thing called power, right? Um they're they're weenies is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know when they became weenies, maybe after World War II, maybe sometime during the Cold War. I'm not really sure. But these Lithuanians were telling us, like, hey, you have no right to go acquire Greenland. You have no right to even go and try to take Greenland. They were talking about the European Union, NATO, like talking about these things like they're going to stop the US from getting Greenland. And as if we're supposed to respect those entities or respect Russia. Because people forget Russia is right by Greenland as well. So they're telling us like we have to just sit back and we're not allowed to take it. If someone else takes it, then that's them. And I'm just sitting here kind of listening to them like, you guys don't understand. You guys don't get it. This is how America has skyrocketed up to the superpower that we are today. We didn't get the 13 colonies and stop there and be like, all right, we're just going to sit around and sing folk songs and fry fish and do whatever, things like that. No, they got the 13 colonies and they expanded more. They went and got the Louisiana Purchase. They went and they got California. Manifest Destiny. They expanded. They got Hawaii. They got Alaska. We went and got Texas from Mexico. This is what they did. This is why America is the place it is today. My parents are Nigerian. They're born and raised in Nigeria. They came here. I was born in America. They had me. They came to America for a reason. They flew over a lot of different countries on their way to come to America, but they came to America for a reason because America is the most powerful country in the world. We have the second most nukes. Russia has the most nukes with, I think, around 55,000 nuclear warheads. We have maybe 5,000 nuclear warheads. So, and then after that, it drops off to like 1,000 nuclear warheads. So we still have some of the most nukes. Russia has more. But when it comes to the Navy, when it comes to the Air Force, when it comes to things like that, the accumulative power, the all around power that America has, it is by far just the greatest force in the world. And it has been that way for decades. It's been that way for a long time. For a reason. It's been that way for a reason. And these people in America, because I'm hearing a lot of things like, oh, we can't get Greenland. The European Union, they need to stop this. NATO, they need to put a stop to this. And then the European Union is saying, like, acting like they're going to do something about it. And then the people are like, yeah, finally, the European Union is doing something good for once. Finally, Germany's on the good side for once. And it's like, aren't you an American? Don't you live in America? Don't you want what's best for America? Like, why are you cheering for another country? Why are you cheering for another place to, like, gain the power and the resources and the territory of another place. Like, I'm starting to question if these people really want to see what's best for America. They're kind of like saying, hey, we've been doing so good for so long. We've been so strong. Now it's time for us to like sit back and like get weak. Now it's time for us to like sit back and fail. Yeah, you guys could get your own country and have that mindset. Yes, we've been the strongest country for a long time, but we want to get even stronger. We want to get even more powerful because we believe that America, that we live the right way. We have the best way of life. Of course, there's some stuff that goes on. There are some people that have control of America, that don't have our best interests in mind. We still do have a lot of problems and conflict. Talk about Israel, talk about the Muslims coming in. We have some issues that need to be worked out. There's definitely some infighting. I'm not saying we're perfect, but I'm saying that America has the best foundation, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence. We have the best foundation to build a great country. You almost can't fail with that formula. They don't have that formula over in Russia. They don't have a declaration. They don't have the Constitution. They don't have all these things, right? They didn't have founding fathers with these beliefs of freedom, of liberty. They don't have that. Not only do they have these more liberal and social, not only did the founding fathers have some of these liberal and social beliefs like liberty and freedom and your right to just do kind of what you so please and kind of live your own life. They also had the beliefs of strength and power and force and conquest. And it was that mix that really made America a safe place, a great place, artistically, just in every aspect. America, it's really a great story of how America came to be, and it's really a miracle, And there's a lot of people in America that it just seems like they just want to ruin that. They just have no desire, they have no care to continue the empire that America is. This is an empire. We are living in the Roman Empire, pretty much. We're pretty much in the Roman Empire right now. And you're talking about, oh, we shouldn't go out there and get some new land and new territory. We shouldn't go out there and do that. We shouldn't do this. We've already taken so much. We've already taken so much land. Why would we go and take Greenland? The Eskimos are over there. There's Eskimos over there living their own life. Why don't we just leave them alone? Why would we have to... Listen, there's uranium over there. Did you think of that? Do you know what uranium is? Have you ever heard of a nuclear warhead? There's a uranium over there. There's rare metals, rare earth metals over there. Do you know where we get majority of our rare earth metals? More than 70% of our rare earth metals? From China. We get them from China. Are we friends with China? How is our relationship with China? Because people say we might have a feud with China pretty soon. So we're in a vulnerable spot when it comes to rare earth metals. Things could get pretty nasty for us if it came to certain situations. We're flirting with tariffs, putting tariffs on China, making it hard for them to do certain things, right? China's trying to expand. When we went in Venezuela, China was also there. They were also talking with, not Maduro, but they were talking with people in his cabinet. They were trying to get a deal done. China is trying to expand, right? China's trying to expand. Russia's trying to expand by the day. So you have this superpower, China, trying to expand as much as possible. You got this superpower, Russia, trying to expand as much as possible. Then you got us, the number one spot on the throne, the king, undisputed champion, right? Reigning champion. We have people gnawing at our feet. We have people gnawing at us, coming for us, trying to take our spot, preying on our downfall. They want to see us lose. They want to see us fail. They're doing everything it takes to be the next us. Are they going to be as nice as us when they assume power? How nice do you think it's going to be under Chinese control by Xi Jinping? How cool do you think it's going to be when Xi Jinping is your ruler and he's controlling you? You think this guy's a Christian? You think this guy cares about freedom and liberty? You should take a look at China. You should take a look how China is doing over there. Because last time I seen, they had people on the street because their social credit score, their digital ID score isn't high enough. So they can't ever get a job for the rest of their lives. So they're dying on the streets, right? That's what type of place we're talking about. But then again, you know, they have no God. They have no Bible. They have no belief. They have no spiritual belief. So they don't think anything's wrong with that because all they operate in is what is best practically for the country. They don't care about higher purposes and higher meanings. They don't care about the meaning of life. Who cares? All they care about is creating. All they care about is factories and manufacturing and getting more resources. All they care about is excellence. That's it. We care about that stuff too, but we also understand the importance of people. We also understand the importance of God, the importance of family. We understand the importance of all these things. You want us to get out of the throne? You want us to get out of the seat? You think that's going to be better? You know, I understand how Tom Brady feels. I understand how Drake feels. I understand how Michael Jordan felt. When you're just winning all the time, when you're just in that number one spot all the time for so long, people just want to see you fall. People just want to see you fail. They're tired of you constantly, perpetually, always being in that number one spot, always being in that top spot. They want to see USA fall. And it's Americans. It's our own people. It's our own citizens born and raised in America talking about, oh, we shouldn't take Greenland. We can't do that. We gotta leave them we shouldn't take Greenland. I mean, come on, guys. And they were doing the same thing with Venezuela. They're doing the same thing with Venezuela. Now, Iran, that's a different story. You know, that would be a war, right? That's not on our hemisphere. The Monroe Doctrine does not is not eligible in this certain circumstance because they're on in the Western Hemisphere. They're on a different hemisphere. So that's a completely different story. I'm not a neocon, right? I'm America first. There's a difference. There's a difference. So, you know, that's what I have to say about it. I mean, there's just so much in it for us that I don't see how anybody could not be for it. You know, if you think that us getting Greenland, maybe, you know, some outside forces or the influences that are on America will affect Greenland or how we utilize Greenland, then, I mean, I could understand that, but I wouldn't use that as a reason why we shouldn't get more stuff. It's kind of dumb, right? It kind of doesn't make any sense. We still need to get it. Yes, we need to figure out about the infighting in our own country. Yes, we need to actually gain power of our own country, but we also still need to get stuff because we still are. No matter who's controlling us, no matter who has influence over us, we still are at odds with other countries that are trying to beat us over the head. They're trying to destroy us. They're trying to topple us, regardless. So we still need to get more uranium. We still need to get more resources. We still need to get more oil. We still need to get more territory. We still need to get more strategical territory that's going to be better for us. Greenland is in between us and Russia and North Korea. So if North Korea or Russia ever tried to do something, we would be able to see that. We would be able to detect that through our bases in Greenland. It's just, and that's why they're trying to get Greenland. That's why Russia's trying to get Greenland. That's why we've been trying to get Greenland since the 1940s. So this isn't even a new thing, right? So you should stop crying and just be for us taking Greenland, right? That's pretty much the case of this. We're gonna end it off with talking about Jake Lang going out to Minnesota, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there is I don't, a political guy, you could say Christian, you could say, I've met this guy before. His name is Jake Lang. He kind of goes to these spots where political events happen, controversial political events happen, and he goes there and he kind of just he kind of just asserts himself in the situation and is like, I'm fighting for this, and he gets it on camera, he streams it, posts it on Twitter. And the event I saw Jake Lang at was actually when Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf in Frisco. There was a rally after that, and there was two rallies, one for Melo, one from Austin, and they kind of met in the middle, and there was clashing and arguing and conflict and things like that, right? I was at that rally because I live 30 minutes from Frisco, so it was like a hometown thing for me. That's where I'm at. So when I came, I saw Jake, I talked to Jake, and, he was at January 6th also. He told me that he was in jail. He got locked up for January 6th. He was one of the January 6ers that got arrested. And he's kind of now like on a world tour now. He had like a tour bus, and he's kind of just going city to city, kind of fighting for conservative right-wing views, you could say. So, however, people are saying this guy is Jewish. This is where it gets spicy. Because I didn't know this back when I met him. I had no idea. And people are like, Jew, what does that matter? He's Jewish. Who cares? Well, this is why it matters. Because what he's doing is he's going places as a Christian, and he is kind of fighting or taunting or provoking is a great word. Provoking the enemies, provoking Muslims. He's provoking leftist. And it's not even that, like, he's bringing in, okay, conservatives, we got to do this. We got to go out. We got to do this. This is this. He goes to enemy territory. He does this every time. He'll go to enemy territory, and then he'll stand there and be like, yeah, Christ is king, and we're going to take our country, and we're going to do this. And it's just like, you're at a mosque. There's no Christians around. You're at a mosque. You're surrounded by Muslims. It's just like, what was this for? Of course they're going to attack you. Of course they're going to punch you in the face. Of course they're going to try to beat you up. Of course they're going to rip you off the property. Why are you... It's almost like... Because, like, if we really wanted to do a movement, we really want to start a movement, it's going to be with like-minded people. We're going to have a rally of all Christians. We're all going to rally together. And we're going to come together and utilize our power. He's going out there solo in enemy territory and provoking people. So that's where the Jewish comes hand in hand, because it's like, well, he knows this isn't making Christians look the best, because people are seeing him, what he's doing. They're like, yeah, of course, serves him right. What is he doing? Beat this guy up. You know what I'm saying? What is he doing? Why is he trying to provoke people at a mosque? Right? And I don't know. I mean, I don't even necessarily have, I don't really think anything's inherently wrong with what he's doing, actually. I just feel like there's, like, it just feels fishy to me. I don't know. I feel like he's a psyop. I feel like he's a plan. I feel like, I mean, he changed his name. His name's Jake Long. It used to be like Johnny or something. He changed his name. He's Jewish. Um, he's like, Christians don't even do this. I'm Christian. I know a lot of Christians. You know, I've been in a lot of rallies. We rally together. You know, we rally in unison, in harmony. He's going to enemy territory, provoking people for views. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, every time I see a video of him, it's just him surrounded by like 50 enemies. It's like, brother, are you even trying to congregate? I don't think so. But, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Go check him out. Go check out Jake Lang. See some of his stuff and let me know what you think. You know, is he a psyop? Am I tripping? Is he authentic? You know, let me know. We'll see, though. We'll see. Time will tell.